Live from a grungy kitchen table located in Annapolis, Maryland's scenic and historic capital, it's the Maryland Crabs Podcast. With each episode, your hosts, Tim Hamilton, John Fernay, and the occasional guest will dive in and pick apart the stuff that really matters most to you. We're too lazy to actually solve any of these problems, but we can definitely stir the pot. From schools, politics, parking in the fire lane, to those horrible people who drive BMWs. And here with this week's episode, live from the kitchen table, Tim Hamilton and John Fernay.
Well, welcome to the Maryland Crabs again. It is John Fernay and Tim Hamilton together at the same table.
We've been doing more. We've been doing more of that.
We have.
We've been doing some solo stuff a little bit.
Yeah. Are you over being pissed off at me because I yelled at you the other week?
I just tuned you out.
What's that? You just tuned it out?
I just tuned you out.
Yeah, you gave me the whatever.
Yeah, I did. I did the girl thing where I'm sending you texts without punctuation.
Yeah, we had a spat over the fundraiser episode. And I do want to recommend everybody go to Community Foundation of Anne Arundel County. There's two funds there that you can contribute to the Capital Gazette Families Fund, which helps the victims and the people that were the survivors and any staff members that are messed up with that. And then also the an education fund. They've got a scholarship fund for anybody that may want to go study journalism at University of Maryland.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that, actually.
So there are two funds there. You can go to the Community Foundation of Anne Arundel County. I think it's cfaac.org.
Right.
But Google it and do it there front and center as far as the two funds that they've got going. You know, it'll go a long way to helping our city and our area recover from the horrible shooting back on June 28th.
Do you know, I found out I was in the same grade school as John, and I was in kindergarten when he was in 8th grade.
Oh, wow. Oh, the other thing, too, we wanted to mention, Caliente was just so great.
Yeah, they were.
And I mean, Roxana was awesome. I go into her on Monday. I said, hey, you want to do a fundraiser tomorrow? And she's like, what? And I'm like, yeah. I said, I just need a yes or a no, and we'll go with the rest. And we did that. We've got MH Media Designs. I called them up. I said, hey, do you want to do some free work? It's like the Tim Hamilton model of business.
No. Yeah, I like to do work for people and not get paid for it. And that's worked out well for me.
And they said, absolutely. So they designed a great graphic for us. We promoted it for about 24 hours. Had probably 40 people show up there, I would think.
And there are people who were actually over in like these tables that I thought just were regular customers, and they came up afterwards like, hey, we came for this, and they were like older. You know, they
were there, they were drinking. We ended up raising $200 out of the fundraiser, which was, I think, fantastic for
last minute.
You know, for a last minute, real quick type of a thing. But the really cool thing is that the Community Foundation is they've got somebody there that's matching up to $1 million. So that $200 is really $400.
Yeah.
So
double points.
Felt real good, and I went over there and dropped the check off the next day. So that was really good, and thank you everybody that participated. And if you didn't get a chance to participate, go listen to the episode. But we had some great conversations. Well, you had mostly the conversation with Chase Cook, and we talked to Paul Gillespie, who was the photographer that was actually in the newsroom when it happened. It was a very enjoyable night. I think it was loud.
Yeah, you know, and I think we really didn't want it to be exploitative. We didn't want to talk about the incident. I think that had been done to death because when we recorded that, it had happened 5 days before. When we shut the mic down and everyone went home, it was you, me, and Paul, and his wife Jennifer, and probably a couple other people I didn't know. There's like 6 or 7 of us.
Was there.
Yasmin, yeah. And we were all sitting around just kind of talking, and it was just, I mean, obviously Paul is super shaken up. I mean, that's to put it way lightly.
Why
but
wouldn't
just
you be?
How shaken up everyone else is, like still. That it's really, we talked for probably a couple hours after the mics were off, and it was just
we did
cathartic.
It was a very good night, and I think it's very, very cool, very heartwarming that we're seeing the city coming to their aid in any number of different ways. With the you've got the press on T-shirts, which should be shipping as we speak.
Yeah, we ordered a couple of those.
I got a couple there. I got a couple racks of stickers, a couple packages of stickers, and everything else. So,
and everyone. It's funny. It's everyone outside the city has just been so nice. So I did a crab cake the other day with Rita Rutner. She's the famous comedian. And when I said we're from Annapolis, and she's just like, I'm so sorry. That was the first thing. And the guy who booked her, that's when he sent his email. He goes, I'm so sorry. That's just, everyone's so nice.
Rita Rutner, great podcast. You did a great job on that.
I was nervous.
That was
I never get.
What are you, a little fanboy?
Well, yeah, because I never get nervous, and I've met. I did comedy for a few years. Years ago, so I've met everybody. I've met people who are really cool and people who are total assholes, like Dennis Leary. Mark Maron was a real prick to me once, but I never met her, but she was like in that pantheon at the time where you had comics, then you had female comics. Like they were a separate category, and you kind of say, well, she's funny for a woman, which was totally chauvinistic. It was but I kind of subscribed to that because everyone did. And I was like 20 years old and everyone had that same opinion. So I didn't have a mind of my own at the time, but she was one. There was actually quite a slew of them that I thought were funny that had asterisks next to their name. And looking back on, they were wildly talented. Right. It was her and Roseanne, despite what happened recently, she's wildly talented. And
right. And probably Rosie O'Donnell was out in that.
Yeah. I forgot her. Yeah. Right. Rosie O'Donnell, because she did Comedy Spotlight at the time, because that's when A&E, the evening the Improv was on. This before I could really go out and drink. So I'd hang out on Saturday nights and watch that Bud Friedman's Evening at the Improv. And it was Ellen DeGeneres and Kathy Ladman, Mo Gaffney. There was just a bunch that were really, really funny. And now the one you see the comics, some of the funniest comedians around now are women, and they're not called women comics; they're just comics. So they really had the way paved for them, and they're like my age, the ones now.
True. But go listen to Rita Rudner. That was a really good episode. Short one. I mean, it was a crab cake, so it was
21 minutes,
22 minutes or something like that. And I
didn't want to keep her. That was the thing. I could have kept going, but I was just nervous that I was taking up her time. Right. So I think I listening to it later, I'm like, oh, I ejected. And kind of like, she's like, oh, okay.
And then I did a crab cake too, which was actually very fun with Kevin Brooks from the Eastport Oyster Boys. Give that a listen to. He's got some great history of Eastport. Obviously, a little bit of the Eastport Oyster Boys, but also a new beer. The Eastport... sometimes Eastport is tough to say. The Eastport Brewing Company that he's starting, which is kind of
Eastport's a real tongue twister. Yeah.
Oh, shut up. Oh, also, I got to compliment you twice in one podcast.
That's got to hurt.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Dave Lasher?
The one you just did, with the...
Dave Lasher, he's a Libertarian candidate for the 3rd District, Congressional District. So that's the, Dying Pterodactyl District. That's that's the most gerrymandered district in the country. And I think the Supreme Court refused to... No, I guess that's still... Texas is what they kind of punted on. Texas and Michigan, maybe. Pennsylvania had their state Supreme Court, so our case is still coming up about whether ours is constitutional or not. But he's running for the 3rd Congressional District, and he's running as a Libertarian, which I think, I looked at how much they got last time. They got like 10% of the vote, which actually is not that bad, considering.
But it's not going to knock anybody out.
Well, no, but it's funny. Some of the best conversations that we have are off mic. Like you and I had a great conversation before we started this, and then even with the event we did for the live event we did last week, the one we had afterwards. But David and I are actually neighbors, and for about 10 years, and but they kind of keep to themselves a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we're catty corner, and I guess they have a young kid and ours are older, so we're at different stages. So that's the most I've talked to David in 10 years, and it was really, really, really interesting.
You've got neat neighbors between him and Mr. Keys. And...
Yeah, I do actually. But the conversation we had before with him, before we started recording, and he'd just come from an event in Baltimore, and he had all these handouts, and they're all like, the trifolds and the mailers. And there were candidates for Republican, Democratic, and he had some millionaire from D.C. who was running for something, and he's this big black dude who's got, like, in his suit, and on there it says, convicted of 3 felonies, did this much time in prison. He had all that stuff, and then he said, started a business, built a franchise. Like, he's like a true rags to riches story. And he's a millionaire, and he's running for Congress. And he said, we were all complaining. He goes, there's some Democrats, some Libertarian, there's some Republicans, and we were all kind of bonding over the fact that in this state, we can't get press no matter what, because everyone is predestined to, or pre...
the two major parties.
Well, not even. He said, unless you have the people who are positioned and no one looks beyond them, because they're going to win they're obviously going to win the primary, and they're obviously going to win the general because it's a Democratic state,
right?
With a big asterisk next to Hogan. But he said that's the frustration that we all had, is that we can't get any kind of coverage whatsoever. We're ignored by the press,
right?
And that was a really interesting discussion, and I think that's true. I mean, you look, Maryland has a very entrenched legislature, all the way around. I mean, so does places like Illinois and New Mexico and Louisiana. But it was a good talk. It was a good one.
That's true. It really was. So you got 2 good ones. I'm good with the compliments for probably a good another 6 months.
Yeah, we can phone it in from now on.
Okay, good. Well, hey, this week what we're doing is we're talking to Ashley and Sharon and Cassie, and they're the brains and the beauties behind Kegs Corks Maryland Wine and Craft Beer Festival, which is coming up on August 18th. And this has become one of the better festivals, one of the best festivals in the area.
I was telling you, it's the only one that I went to last year. you got me tickets, and I went and actually had a really good time. It wasn't those sort of thing where you go to the fairgrounds and they just move things around. It's all the same. It actually was a really good time.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the wine. It's all about the beers. It's not a place for kids. Not that they can't come.
We took our kids.
It's not that they can't come.
I'm
It's
Irish,
just not. And there's nothing there for them. They're not putting moon bounces or anything like that.
They have little fake IDs. It's cute.
Yeah, good. That's fine. Get shots for Dad.
Yeah, I don't mean to brag, but they're drinking on a 10th grade level already.
But yeah, check this out. Check out this episode because they've got some really neat new stuff here. They're working on having the Fat Jewish come to there. We'll see. And there's a little tie-in there with a new wine beer called Babe, which will be making its area debut at Kegs and Corks Festival.
I think you have to explain really quick before you're accused of being...
No, I don't want to explain what the Fat Jewish is.
All right.
I don't want to explain. You have to listen and figure that out or Google it or something like that.
That's called a teaser.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it. But do listen to it through the end because at the end we do have a code to get cheap tickets and a chance to win free tickets. So you got to listen to it and we'll catch you on the flip side.
Double teaser.
Don't miss the best event of the summer. Get your tickets now for the 7th Annual Kegs Corks Festival at the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds, Saturday, August 18th from 1 to 7 p.m. Tickets benefit the Special Olympics of Maryland and include a souvenir glass, unlimited wine and beer samples, plus live music including headliner Kristen and the Noise. Sample over 80 Maryland wines, 40 craft beers, plus vendors like wine cream, wine slushies, and desserts made with craft beer. Buy your ticket today at kegsandcorksfest.com for noon entry, kegsandcorksfest.com.
Hey, we're back here at the Commons, and even though it is middle of summer, we've got to start to think about the end of summer with the Kegs and Corks Festival, which is coming up very soon, and you may not necessarily know that, but it is coming up on August 18th, which is a Saturday at the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds. And like we had last year, we've got Ashley and Sharon, and we brought an addition. We've got Cassie to talk about beer, we've got Ashley that can talk about music and the festival, and we've got Sharon that's going to put it all together because Kegs and Corks, hands down, is my personal favorite festival that's been going on for, I'm going to screw this up. It's got to be like 7 years. 7? Okay.
Yeah, 7.
1 year at Blobs Park and out in Jessup area, and you realize, oh, we need a bigger, like what did they say in Jaws? We need a bigger boat.
Yes.
And over to the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds, a 1-day beer and wine festival, and they'll say it's craft beer and
Maryland wine.
And they've got some standard beers as well for the purists like me that like a good Bud Light and
for sure.
Not the old IPAs and everything else. So how are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Wonderful.
Thanks for having us.
What's new and happening with Kegs and Corks that I don't know about that we don't know about since last year?
Well, one thing that we're super pumped about this year is having Kristen and the Noise as our headliner for music. If you haven't heard them, you need to. They are out of Philly. They do a lot of shows down at the beach, Dewey, Ocean City, Bethany. They play at the Starboard and Secrets, and they have this massive following. I actually just learned about them in the last year and heard them at an event in Baltimore, and literally we were out of our seats dancing. And I called Sharon and I said, we've got to get these guys. And I was so thrilled when it worked out. So now, you got to come out. If you haven't heard them, you need to.
Well, we'll definitely play a little bit of them toward the end of this recording. But what excites me about this, looking at the musical lineup, you've got Kristen and the Noise, and you've got another band that's going to be playing there, but there's nobody that I recognize, which I think is like really cool because I think some of the festivals that we have here, you either have the same entertainment or you have the same people that are local people. And not that there's no talent by any means. There's wonderful talent around here, but I can see band X at this restaurant,
right,
maybe 3 or 4 times in the summer. And this is a really good opportunity to get out, drink some good beer, drink some good wine, and see some new music that you might be turned on. I mean, you said yourself that you were up dancing, never heard them.
Yeah, we have Michael Waske. He is a local kind of up-and-comer, so maybe you haven't heard of him either, but he is insanely talented. He runs a school of music over in Kent Island, so we're thrilled to have him. He's going to do some solo performances, and then he's going to bring along some friends. So it's a new face that you haven't seen before, but local.
The music goes all day. I mean, that's the cool thing about this festival is that when the gates open up at noon, the beer starts to flow. The wine starts to pour and the music is on the stage and it doesn't stop until 7. You go hard. I know years past, I see you too. You're about 3 steps away from dead come 7 o'clock at night. And I'm sure there's a week and a half or 2 weeks afterwards where you,
there's a recovery time for sure.
For sure. And your children are not old enough to pull their entire weight at this point yet, but that's, they're getting there.
No, we're usually dancing by 6 p.m. We give ourselves one good hour of enjoying the festival, and then
we jump
back
in
to work.
and we
Back
start
to work,
dancing.
pack it up.
What's the weather looking like?
Oh, it's going to be perfectly sunny, no clouds, and I'm guessing a 74.
And just a little breeze.
74
That's what I'm guessing.
in August.
That's right.
We've been
You
praying.
heard,
And a little
you
breeze
heard-
going
you
on.
heard
We've
it
been
here
praying
first.
for a while, so
You know, it's been a tough year for festivals this year with the rain.
Yeah.
And but I've always said it's not really a festival unless it rains. And you guys had your experience in rain too. I remember the first year at Blobs Park, there was
We had thunder, lightning. Lightning actually hit
fire,
the building.
I'd call that a
brimstone.
monsoon. Yeah, but
Monsoon.
people didn't leave.
They didn't leave.
What did the Capitol say?
Oh no, that was in Anne Arundel.
That was Anne
That was the
Arundel.
first
We
year.
had another
the
year it rained. We
fairgrounds
still
that
had
rained.
8,000 people show up, and I think the line was rain
Dancing in
can't,
the rain. Oh yeah,
can't-
rain can't stop kegs and
Kegs and Corks.
I do
Before
remember a
after
picture of Kelsey Pegger, who was a reporter at the Capitol, in her rain boots, those ones that women typically wear. They go about mid calf. I don't know, galoshes. Is that the word? Is that the fashion word that we're going to use? But it was. They were yellow and had maybe butterflies or something on them, and it was just a great picture of her in the middle of this. But she wasn't alone, which is great.
No, people will stay.
But yeah, okay. So
They dance in the rain.
Craft beer and
So
Maryland
will
wine
we.
will keep them around.
mid 70s, sunny
Sunny.
on August 18th.
That's right.
Also with us in the middle seat here is Cassie, and you are the beer maven, if you will. You ought to put that on your.
I think
Beer
she,
maven.
I think she prefers Queen of Beer.
Queen
Yeah.
of beer.
Queen of
That's
beer?
what we
Yes.
call her.
Right, and she works for the King of Beer distributor that is here.
That is correct.
With Catsup Brothers Beverage, which is a wonderful community partner. You see them in the news all the time. I still remember one of my favorite things that you guys did was the Life Fests at Sandy Point and City Dock or Truxton Park and all the places where if you were going out in your boat and you didn't have a Life Vest, you could pick one up for free, borrow it, use it, and you're on the honor system to bring it back. And that was all funded by you guys. And everybody else would say their favorite thing that you guys do is bring those horses in to poop on our streets in December. But that's
It's my personal favorite.
that's
Outside of Kegs and Corks, of course.
yeah.
Can't bring the Clydesdales to the festival, but we definitely are bringing
that would
some
be a
other.
great
Wouldn't that be
idea.
Fun.
Only because I'm allergic. Otherwise, I'm sure it would be approved.
You are working with the festival to bring all sorts of great beers.
Of course. So we've been with them since day one, since its, initial first year. And, we come in and we lead with, the traditional Bud Light.
Thank you.
Of course. So John has his beer. But we also have some other breweries, local, regional, national breweries that come in also. And we have some new ones this year.
Very excited.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. We're working on the beer lineup. Is that the right word, lineup? I mean,
Yes,
bands
we have
are
15,
lineup, but-
15 breweries that will be out. Wicked Weed out of Asheville, North Carolina
I've
is
eaten it.
a
That's
new
great. That's
and
so
well-known, brewery. And they are known for their spontaneity and their sour and funky barrel aging program. So they really do have a lot of those barrel aged sour brews, and they're very well known for that funk. So I'm personally excited again for them to be there because I love a good sour.
I never had a sour until I was in a bar in Philadelphia one time, and I tried it, and it couldn't convince me it was beer, but it was really very good, and I do like them now. I like I know Fordham has Fordham has a sour, the lemon sour that they came out with, and I did have it down at Wicked Weed back when I was down in Asheville. At their restaurant, it was I don't know whether it was this particular one, but it was good. I do like sours.
Yeah, so they're well known. They have a funkatorium. They're just well known for that whole funky sour beer aging bit. But we have some other ones. So Virtue Cider, we have another new cider. Bold Rock, of course, has been around with us for a while, but Virtue is out of Fenville, Michigan. And this is a new high-end cidery where the son of the gentleman, John Hall from Goose Island, actually founded Virtue. And they're really well known for their lighter, crisper, more tarty ciders. So I'm really excited for Virtue to be there with Bold Rock.
Anything else that's new and exciting, or do you not want to divulge it?
We are bringing back the Stella Artois Airstream unit, which everyone loves, as well as bringing in the charity water.org, buy a lady a drink with our chalices, which
another
is
one of my favorite things that you guys participated in. You guys are one of the leading distributors of beer in the nation to give to this. And if you've ever seen these cool little Stella glasses, and I've got 4, I think, in my cupboard, they're hand painted by different countries that are affected by water. I don't want to say shortages, but lack of potable drinking water. And between water.org and Stella Artois and their generous distributors and everything else, they take a portion of the sale of the glasses, and it provides water for people of the country for some ungodly amount of time, which blows my mind. It's $5 gives them...
$13 will give you 5 years of clean drinking water, which is incredible.
Which is absolutely absurd. And considering you go to a NFL game, you probably pay $13 for a bottle of water.
Or a Bud Light.
That'll last you... 5 minutes.
So there are 3 new countries this year. So last year we featured Uganda, Brazil, and Cambodia. This year we'll be featuring India, Mexico, and the Philippines.
Okay.
Which is a great...
And it's a design that's done by an artisan in the country.
Correct.
And it's applied to the glass, the goblet, I guess. Stella calls them goblets. Chalices. And it goes to a thing. And they will be available at Kegs and Corks as well?
Correct. Yes.
Good. You can just go to the Stella trailer and pick one up?
Yes. And then lastly, we have a couple other new things, but we really want to talk about Babe.
Mm-hmm.
Babe.
You guys bringing babes?
About Babe.
We're bringing babes. It's so good.
Movie night at
Babes in a can. So I'm not sure how familiar people are with Babe in this market, but the Fat Jewish is very familiar, some 15 million followers. And Babe Walker, their fictional character. But Babe is a wine, and it is in a can, and it is 15% rosé or Pinot Grigio.
And it's bubbly.
It is bubbly.
And it is delicious. And it just came to the Annapolis area, right?
It's brand new to the area.
It is brand new to the area, brand new to Maryland, brand new to D.C. Kegs
So is it
and Corks
wine
will
or
be
is
one
it
of the
beer?
first to get it.
Is it wine or beer?
Oh, it's
It
wine.
is a wine that wants to be a beer.
Okay.
When you take that first sip and you're not
Interesting.
quite ready for it to be a wine, it hits you and you go, it's a wine. And it's good. And it's bubbly.
Interesting. You said it's only available in cans? So cans of this will be available?
Only available in cans.
Very interesting. Okay.
And we'll be the first festival to have it.
So
When did this come out? I've never heard of it. I mean, usually I try to...
So we just launched it in market about a week and a half ago. You can get it at some of the retail stores locally here, but Kegs and Corks will be the first festival that you will see it. And the Fat Jewish just might make an appearance.
Very cool. Well, there's your thing. Because I know last year you had there was a special, I'm trying to remember who it was, Trogs perhaps, that brought a special...
Brew?
A special Kegs and Corks brew.
We're going to have a special Kegs and Corks
We
brew
are.
with a souvenir glass.
It's going to be
We have
Kegs
a lot
and
of
Corks
surprises going
ale.
on this year.
I know.
Yeah. We do. John.
We keep thinking of all these things we should talk about.
He's getting us to reveal all our secrets.
So you said a Kegs and Corks ale? Mm-hmm.
You'll have
You'll
have to come.
You guys are going to shut
And
up
you
about
can
the drink.
only get
You'll
it
have
at
to come
Kegs
out and try it
Corks. You'll
at
have
all
to
of the
come
beer
try
trucks
it.
on
Yeah.
tap. We will have a special Kegs and Corks amber, actually. And you can buy a special cup that, I know no one else can see this, but John can see this. And it changes colors when you put cold beverages in it.
That's pretty cool.
And
there
it'll
will
have our
be-
new logo on it.
It has our new logo. That's another thing
By the way, that
super
is a very
pumped
sharp
about.
new logo.
Thank you. We
Thank
kind of
you.
did a
We
big
had our contest.
rebranding this year, thanks to everybody who voted to help us choose our fave. But yeah, we have a new fresh look this year. It'll be on the new sous vide cups, and we'll be offering special pricing for the cups and our Kegs and Corks amber.
T-shirts and koozies. You can get all
All your flair.
your flair
will have
will
the
be on
new
sale
branding.
with our new
Paraphernalia.
logo.
Yes.
All right, now you're dribbling out all this beer stuff. Are we done with our beer surprises now?
I transitioned from beer to Babe,
Yeah.
right into wine.
I think it was the
So
perfect
let's talk about
segue.
Maryland wine.
Well, if you want to hear who's coming this year, we have a lot of our local favorites. We have Great Frogs, who, you
They're
gotta
wonderful
love.
here in Annapolis.
Everybody
They're
loves
wonderful.
Great Frogs,
We
so
love them.
they are coming back. They were with us since our very first year, and I hope they always will be. We have some new people. We have Il Dolce. They are new, and I've actually not tasted them, so that will be the first booth that I'm going to hit. But we're super excited to have them. Of course, we have the Great Shoals Hard Cider. That's kind of their special thing. We have Dragonfly Farm Sangria. Everyone has their whites, their reds, but if you're looking for a good sangria, you got to try the Dragonfly. If you're looking for the hard cider wine, you got to go to Great Shoals.
How do you buy your booze? Your stuff? Is it tickets, the wines, or the tastings?
Okay, so every ticket, no matter when you buy it, where you buy it, includes unlimited samples of all craft beer and wine. Okay. You can purchase a full glass of wine or cup of beer, and you can buy the full bottle of wine. So if you really like something, you can buy the bottle, go throw a blanket out on the lawn, enjoy it with some friends while you're listening to the live music. But unlimited samples are included with your souvenir glass.
Okay, so $40 is unlimited samples. So
yes.
It's not the ticket thing where you need to put a ticket in for a sample or anything like that. You can
it is ticketless, so you can try as many as you want.
And you said about drinking the bottle on the wine, or the bottle of wine on the lawn. You can also purchase wine in bulk to take home if you find something that you like.
If you want to buy
cases,
you love something and you want to buy a whole case, that's fine. You can drop it off at our wine pickup tent, which is right near the admissions tent, and you can just pick it up on your way out. So drop it off. We'll hold on to it until you're done, and whenever you're ready to leave, we'll have it ready for you.
Can we buy babes?
To go? No, I don't think so. You'll have to consume that on purpose.
Drink while you can. Kegs and Corks all day.
It's limited.
12 to 7.
It's limited.
Well, and something else that we have in cans this year, which we're super pumped about, is I know last year everyone was going crazy over the hoop tea. They have such yummy flavors, but this year it's actually available in cans. So they had those larger bags. Mm-hmm. The cans are way more easy. Everyone's gonna love it. So definitely,
gorgeous too.
The cans? The cans
they've got a cool logo.
I'm sorry, I like my cans.
The cans are so cute. But what's better is what's inside. So you got to come in. Cassie, what flavors are we going to have this year?
Mango and watermelon.
Those new? We didn't have those last year. We had something else. So these are new.
The watermelon.
We had mango.
Mango, yes.
Because that was my favorite.
Yeah, watermelon.
And I will throw a disclaimer out on the hoop tea that you don't realize that there's any hoop in
tea.
that. You don't realize there's much hoop in there.
Until you get hooped.
It is a little dangerous, but it's a very light and refreshing. So it's perfect summer drink. What do they call it? Summer in a can. Yeah, because it's very light. So when it's hot out and you just want something refreshing, you got to go with that. Or my personal favorite, the spiked seltzer.
I was going to say,
which is like drinking seltzer water.
That's my all-time favorite.
And this year we will have the lemon, which is their brand new flavor that just came out. So there is definitely something for everybody, no matter your palate.
So you guys are like the debut festival this year.
Can I keep talking about cans?
Yes. Well, that's because we have Cassie.
Cans are also going to be on site. I know a lot of people have
the
so much
beer
fun
cans.
with the dancing beer cans.
Yes,
so make sure
there.
you bring your phone and your hashtag and you take lots of pictures.
The boomerang was quite popular last year with people dancing in the cans. So definitely stop by the photo op.
The beer cans are fun.
Hashtag
everybody likes to see the 4 dancing beer cans and the parades and everything else as they go down there. That's
thank you, John Frenay.
Yeah, right. No, that was because of my lack of creativity. Thank you to Katza for pulling that together, and Randy at the in your design office.
It was a wonderful Halloween costume.
Oh, it totally was. It had an issue with people kept putting their glasses on it when I took it off to go to the bathroom, and they would with the hole where the head is, they thought it was a trash can for a point, but that was
and if dancing in a beer can isn't for you, you can always pose with the professional
pink unicorn
that will be there
dancing.
Wait a minute, there is somebody that is a professional
pink
unicorn.
It's a big deal.
Well, remember the one year we had the shark?
We had the mermaid
from the Super Bowl,
but now it's the pink unicorn, evidently, which is the top craze, is what we've been told. So.
But I feel like we should talk also about our partner, our beneficiary this year, who we're excited to work with.
We are so excited again to work with Special Olympics. We love the cause. We love them. They were amazing to work with last year. And we need people to come out and support the event for this wonderful cause. And they'll be there to meet.
Special Olympics of Maryland, right?
Of Maryland, correct. Yes.
Right. Who all sponsoring it this year? I mean, Special Olympics is a beneficiary. And that's a wonderful thing that you guys, 5 years, 7 years, you've consistently had beneficiaries and you're giving back.
Right.
Yeah, every year we team up with a charity.
And I know you had something very near and dear to your heart with the AEDs, was it?
Oh, the AEDs, yes.
Where the defibrillators.
Oh, the defibrillators.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
We
It was actually like
I
our
forgot
first
that
year.
we had that.
Yeah, we
Yes,
raised.
we
That was
did.
we had a
We
third partner
raised
at the
money
time, and we raised money to put an AED on every athletic
in
field
every
in Anne Arundel
field.
County.
And
Yeah.
Yes, a good friend of ours.
because we had a
niece
friend whose niece actually died at a
on the
sporting
field.
event.
Yeah.
So
Which-
that was
which
near
is-
and dear.
Which is wonderful. But so who's stepping up to the plate for the Kegs and Corks this year? That's
Sponsors?
who are your sponsors? That
Well, we
obviously you're working with
Cassif and
Brothers,
Cassie.
of course.
They're
And the
very
Queen
dear
of
to
Beers.
the Queen of Beers, and she'll be there, everyone.
I'm always there. I love it.
And we'll even have a little tiara on her head. I'm going to make you one on purpose. So we thank Catsif so much for all their hard work, and Cassie always takes care of us, and we always get some nice surprises, as you've already heard. But we have also teamed up with 106.5, HFS, and the sports radio. What was the other one?
Today's 101.9.
Today, 101.9. So
CBS Radio.
that's right, CBS Radio. Ding, 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 ding. And they
By Intercom. And we will have one of their on-air personalities as MC. Last year we had Gina Crash and Nisi. I'm not sure who's coming this year, so it will be a surprise, but it'll be someone fun for sure.
Exactly.
They
We
always
had a
are.
good time with them.
Of course, we want
And
to
of
give a shout out
course-
to Ion Annapolis
I was
for
going to
being
say,
our number one.
John Frenay. We couldn't do this without him.
Since
He was our
our first
mentor
year.
for the last 7 years, I feel like. He always has such great ideas.
I can say that Kegs and Corks
we
would not
tweet-
be what it is today without
Because John.
Frenay and Ion Annapolis.
And we started.
Special
like
thank
back
you.
in, it's been a long time.
Feeling old.
it's like
Time flies.
Yeah.
I know we're all
2018.
and none of us have aged.
I
a bit,
think we
but
all
you're
look exactly the
I think
same.
I'm getting younger. I don't know about
I'm
y'all.
just having more babies.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to take one for the team.
I had 3 and I
That's
said,
Cassie
yeah, that's
again.
enough.
I said 2 and that's
I have 3. That's enough.
Well, I'll tell you, it looks like there's a great lineup. You've got tons of Maryland wine. You've got tons of craft beer from all over the country. You've got good old Bud Light for me because I would wine unless it was there. You've got the dancing cans. You've got Babe. You've got Hoop Tea's new flavors, lemon spiked seltzer.
we have wine slushies. We have, ice cream. We have
Do you have
Lots of stuff.
Do you have any of your food vendors lined up yet at this point?
We do.
They're all in.
They're all in.
Great variety.
Of course, we have our, Sherry's crab cakes and Pro Shuckers. We got our oyster and shrimp, our
Lisa's
favorites.
Luncheonette.
Lisa's and Geno's cheesesteaks, Nooner's, the personal pizzas that he puts right in that oven. They're so yummy.
It's so good.
We have Phillips crab pretzels. A couple new ones this year. We have Smoke, Rattle, and Roll from the Eastern Shore.
And they're great. They're a great food truck locally, but they just opened up at the Annapolis Mall.
Oh, great. Yeah, I didn't even know that. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, so come on out and we'll see their food truck set up.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of new vendors this year. A great variety of, besides art and jewelry, we have clothing, we have wine glasses. We actually have china from Japan. So we're very excited.
Jewelry, handbags, those hilarious signs. I love the hand-painted signs that say all kinds of funny things.
Old Bay is coming back.
Yeah, the Old Bay shirts.
And they have
lots of
great
Maryland stuff.
shirts,
Yeah.
funny signs. I mean, anything made out of a wine
Ravens,
bottle that you can think
the
of.
Ravens Roost people, they'll be out there.
Ravens
little bit
Roost will
early
be
holiday
here.
shopping, maybe.
Exactly.
Definitely early holiday shopping.
Out of curiosity, do you have a cell phone vendor that's bringing like charging stations?
That is a great idea, John.
John, we like that
If you're out
idea.
there and you're interested.
You know what's with Sprint?
Because all the cell phones take
Sprint,
they
yeah,
end up
there's
dying
Sprint
like
would
halfway
do,
through.
right? Sprint wants to come. Yeah.
And ask them. I bet they
Oh,
would.
yes,
Make
that's
sure
a
you
great
try the
idea.
Sprint tent and get your
Yeah.
phone.
I'll call them and say, look, I did a plug. You better
If
come.
they're not, give me a call and I'll find out. But I
Great
think
idea.
Well, and another thing we always want you to remember is that feel free to bring your, small 10 by 10 pop-up. A lot of people will bring that, a blanket, a couple chairs, just so that you can kind of stick your claim on the lawn and be comfortable. If it is a hot day, you'll want the shade. And you're welcome to do that as long as you're not obstructing anybody's view. And again, it's free parking. So, you really...
Ready to dance.
Be ready to dance.
So, and staking out your claim, I can do that
with your early access tickets at noon. You get in, you put your little tent up, you
First
set up
come,
your spot,
first serve.
and you have an hour to hit as many beer and wine. I mean, not that we're encouraging you to drink it all in 1 hour, but you can hit as many as you want, hit your faves before the crowds enter at 1.
That's always nice. I know that some festivals have done that in advance, and like you say, stake your claim. Yeah. There, find a good shot of the stage. Maybe it's where the sun's positioned, or maybe for an easy exit, and do it there. This is not a kid-friendly event. I mean, kids are certainly welcome,
right? But there isn't really anything fun for them to do. So having
and it
kids,
gets so crowded.
Yeah,
it's
it
hard
gets crowded.
to push
We
a
wouldn't want anyone
stroller.
to
It
get
really
lost,
is, so.
or it's hard to push strollers through. So it's totally up to you.
I mean,
but
I always see kids
there isn't
there,
like a
but-
kid area, to entertain them. So
Right. I mean, it is an adult.
it is an adult event.
And the other no-nos are like coolers. and
Absolutely
dogs.
no coolers, no pets, no outside food or drink. It will be taken at.
Can I bring my service iguana?
I'm going to say
As
no
long as
on
it
that.
has a vest that says service animal.
Okay,
you can
fine.
bring it.
If I've got my note.
Another thing is water bottles. No, we cannot. You cannot bring in water bottles. Unfortunately, our food vendors all sell them, and that's part of
have
their
water
deal.
there.
So no food or drink. Don't give the volunteers a hard time. They're there
We're going to
giving
have
up
a
their time.
spritzer area. Is that what
We're going to have misters. We're going
to.
to have tents just for shade in the event that it is a little warm. So there will be areas to cool
But it's
off.
not. It's 74 and sunny, so we
But
don't need to worry
It'll be
about
long-
gorgeous.
yes. So
It's
you
gonna
don't
be a
even need to
gorgeous
worry about
day.
that.
But we're covering all.
Yes.
Absolutely. I know when the Irish Fest rolled around, they had tents for shade or tents for rain. It just depended on how it...
I just like
That's
to
right.
say, as long as you have the tents and the misters, it won't be too hot and it won't rain.
The misters you added last year.
We
and
did.
They were really very, very good.
They were
enjoyed them.
helpful. And then we have the building and the pavilion too.
Yeah,
that
definitely
also
check out the
offers
beer
some
building.
cooler
Not that
areas.
anyone would miss it because there's some really good craft beer in there. But sometimes I feel like if it's your first year, maybe you quite don't know that you need to go in there. Don't miss the craft
don't
beer
miss it. We
corral.
have great vendors
inside
in
the
there.
building. There are some of the best craft beers. So definitely hit it up.
Well, you guys use the fairgrounds very effectively, and one thing you mentioned, Ashley, is correct. You get in there, go up, walk up the path, check out all the vendors that are there, and certainly go into the buildings. I mean, you got two main buildings. You got one that's enclosed, and I'm sure it's got some kind of a name named after some dead guy or something like that. But
We call it the beer building.
okay. It's the beer building. It's the one that has the walls on the side of it.
Yes.
And then you've got a big open space, and then you've got the next one, which is the pavilion,
The wine
Yes, and that's
pavilion.
all
which
wine.
is open on
air.
the sides.
And in between, we're going to have actually a little food truck area. There's another new thing we're throwing in this year.
Yeah.
So
So you can drink your beer, you can eat your food, then
And
get
then
your
go
wine
try
for
some
dessert.
exactly.
And then just
And
wrap
repeat
around to the
all
right and
day.
go hang out on the hill and watch the band.
Exactly.
Or go shopping.
Doesn't that sound like a perfect afternoon in August?
You know, it really is. And I mean, I talk to more and more people around, and they look forward to this. This is one of the festivals they do. East Puerto Rican is another one that they like, and the tug of war and some of these different things that they always talk about. It's just one they look forward to. It's well done. I will say that you guys, and I've worked with you in years past when there are criticisms of it. I mean, the traffic was too bad. Whatever it may be,
It was too crowded. It was
too crowded. There weren't enough porta potties. Whatever somebody wants to squawk about. I will say that you do read them.
course.
You
No, we
respond.
wanna
You
hear it.
respond. You
We take
respond to them,
seriously. We do.
and you really take them under consideration. You do make changes because every single year that it's happened, there's been something a little bit better, and there's always something that goes wrong.
And that's always our goal, is to improve every year. We would rather
year.
people tell us directly, this one, wasn't perfect and this could be better, and we want to fix it and make it better for next year. So, we want to grow, we want to improve, so we're always open to feedback.
Tickets, as we said, are $40. If you buy them online at kegsandcorksfest.com, you get in an hour early. There is a discount, and I'm not absolutely sure. I think we probably missed it by the time this airs. Early bird pricing was $32.50 through the end of June. So if you're listening to this before the end of June, you can get it for $32.50. Otherwise,
If not, we'll throw in a promo code for anybody listening.
talk to me.
Let's
Promo
go
code.
ahead.
Keep.
All right, everybody, pay attention. The promo code will be EOA, and you will get the early bird pricing.
Does that expire?
Never.
Okay.
Never. For your
So-
listeners
For
only.
anyone who's listening to John Frenet in Annapolis, there is a big special.
EOA.
There you go.
And that's good for
Well, let's
2019 and 2020 and 20.
Okay. Actually,
Okay, wait a minute.
2018.
Well, at least
Yeah.
2018.
Well, let's put it. Let's say, what is it? 9 p.m. the night
Expires
before.
August 19th.
August 17th, the night before.
The night before.
It will cut off the night before.
right,
All
cool.
ticket sales cut off the night
Yes.
before.
Thank you.
So just to clarify that. You're welcome.
I appreciate it. What
Taking care of your listeners.
you do have a VIP experience too.
Oh, we do.
So let's
And
talk about it.
It's fantastic. Number
You
one.
did you get the cocaine and hookers like I suggested last year or not?
I did. They're all there ready,
outstanding.
waiting for you in the air-conditioned bathrooms.
John's
okay?
favorite part, the air-conditioned bathrooms.
That's right, air-conditioned bathrooms
That-
with hookers in the back
We-
and the coat from the side.
We laugh. That's just sort of my signature line with my kid. What do you want for What do you want for your birthday? My kids are all old now, but one thing I have said to you guys, the thing that makes a VIP personally for me is like an easy way to get in, and the bathrooms. You know, I could care less about the unlimited booze. I mean, it's nice and everything else with the food, but you give me even if it's a private bathroom, it's the way to go.
But there's reserved parking, so you park right up front.
You just
Okay.
park right up
A
front.
special
easy
entrance.
access.
You don't wait in line.
That's right, no line. And you get to go in and it's free food all day and beer and wine and a nice place to sit right in front of the stage. Perfect view for the bands and the music. And if you want it, you just go out and dance and have a good time.
And this is a tented thing too. So if
It is tented and nice fans, so it's cool. It's
So-
not air conditioned, but it
Tables and
is
chairs,
cool.
So you can
Tables and chairs to rest
your
and relax and
purse down and-
just enjoy it.
It is a nice way to do that, and tickets for that are $100.
$100, right?
And is there a discount on them beforehand or
No,
not?
we don't.
No, okay.
Only
Well,
because it's so limited. We only allow 100 people in there, and that includes the bands and our major sponsors. So we
And then you got
literally
people
And the Queen of Beer.
and the Queen of Beer.
it's-
And the
So
Queen of Beer.
we really
You'll see her on the throne at the end. Oh, that's a good idea too.
well,
you
she's
need a throne to go with the
How
tiara
about on the
and
potty?
sash.
That's a throne. Oh,
oh no.
Now we're getting a little West Virginia here.
get a
But
chair.
to bring us back,
Okay.
we really only sell 60 tickets to the VIP. It is very small and intimate. So, and we know that people enjoy it because it's always sold out at least a month in advance. So if you want them, get them now.
and I think there's only
Yeah, I
20
think-
left.
I think last time I checked, there was like 25 left. So
Yeah.
get them.
Yeah,
going quickly.
if you're interested in doing VIP, it is well worth
The
$100
VIP
with the $100 bucks.
experience.
It does include. You've got beer stations and wine stations within
Right
the
there.
tent there, so you can get a full cup.
Full cup.
So there's no samples.
No
Well, I
samples.
mean, you can get a sample, but it's
Right.
and I know they've got not all the beer, obviously, and not all the wine, but they've got a tremendous selection in the VIP to do it. But obviously, you want to get out and explore all the rest and check out the Babe cans.
We'll have some of
We
those.
might even have to have some of those in the VIP.
Yeah, we
tent,
definitely
I
do.
think.
So I have something to.
We'll have buds and babes.
Buds and Babes.
Ooh.
The VIP experience with Buds and Babes.
I'll bring the king. So to add, we will have other opportunities to win tickets, right? So via Ionopolis, the radio station. So we'll also be doing some promotional ticket giveaways at various restaurants and bars in the area. So look out for some social media posts. Yellowfin, Happy Harbor, Skipper's Pier, Langways, and then we're working on following up on some other ones. So just take a look at the social media, Instagram. Please follow Kegs and Corks on both Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we're giving away tickets every week on Facebook and Instagram. So make sure you're following us. Our Instagram is getting way better.
On your bar things, will the Queen of Beer be there?
At the bar. As many as
at
she
the
can
things?
attend.
Okay, so good.
But if she's not good enough, Sharon or I, we usually like to go too. We can be the princess.
So we're
the
if you want to see the Queen of Beer
princesses.
before the
Every
festival,
activation.
she might be it might be at Langways, which is also actually I just discovered Langways probably about 6 months ago, and it's quickly become one of my favorites. It's a good little bar. I like
They did
that.
an excellent job with that renovation.
They really did. I've got a friend that lives up in Crofton, and he's like, "Where do you want to meet?" Hey, we'll go to Langways. I'm like, "Don't have to twist my arm on that. It's worth the trip for me."
Little watering hole right down Crownsville Road.
Yep. So keep an eye out. Kegs and Corks on Facebook. You want to look for them on Instagram. I know you've been. I've seen a couple that I don't do Instagram, but I've seen a couple posts that you've been out there giving them away. And there's going to be nights where you can go out and drink I don't know whether you're going to have Babe in a can or not, but you can.
Well, aren't we going to do the Stella thing? You buy the Stella and we're going to throw in some free tickets to Kegs and Corks. So,
Yeah, so we'll be integrating the ticket giveaways with some of our various products.
Plenty of opportunities to get free tickets. I'll tell you what, if you're listening to this now, and for the first 10 people that email me saying, give me free stuff, I'll give you 2 free tickets because you guys gave me a plastic envelope that was filled with tickets. So
There you go.
and I thank you for that. It's funny. It's like as I get older, people like plastic envelopes. I'm like, yeah, it looks like a drug deal going bad.
hey, I just really like Ziplocs.
It's the new currency.
I have a Ziploc obsession.
With the Ziploc bags and
it's slowly caught on to me.
Well, I tell you, I want to say, Sharon, Cassie, and Ashley, you guys have done just a great job. And I know that as I look at the bookends with Sharon and Ashley, they're the people that were really behind it. Cassie has always been behind the scenes, if you will, making sure that they've got the right beers, the popular beers, the things that are going to make people say, hey, I need to come back here again next year. And you're a little bit more out in front now that you've been, what's the word? What do they do to queens? They knight them.
They adopted into the family.
I was going to say,
named
she is
queen.
now my adopted
This is
daughter.
like the Meghan Markle of like Annapolis here.
It gets better and better.
I love it.
Does that Prince Harry not have like the best job in the whole world? Seriously? I mean, the guy has no responsibilities and all the perks of it. It's great. And okay, I've got 3 women looking at me going like, where did this come from?
I don't know.
But you guys do a great job with this festival year after year after year, 7 years running. I've seen you at the end of 7 of them completely exhausted. And if I was a betting man, I would have bet that, oh yeah, this is the last one. Just like, oh my gosh, they just...
If you asked us
did you
at
ever
7
hear our
p.m.,
conversation?
we'd be like, no, this is it.
But you come back year after year after year because you do put on a
We
good
love
product.
it. We
You
actually
really do.
enjoy doing it. We do it for fun, really.
And you are running around like mad women during the festival. And it's not because it's because for me, it's for everybody there that's there to do it, to make sure that they have a good time.
Exactly.
Drinking responsibly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
What's your hashtags? You have any specific
Hashtag Kegs and Corks. Hashtag
Kegs and Corks Fest.
Kegs and Corks Fest. Hashtag Beer Festival. Hashtag The Fat Jewish. Hashtag
Okay, so
Clean
wait,
and
wait,
Beer.
wait,
Hashtag.
we
have a lot of them.
Back up.
John,
So
I
I
can
go
go
a little
all
bit
day.
off topic, and you think I'm just going to let the hashtag Fat Jewish go off? Okay, come on, explain yourself, Ashley. Where's?
Hey, I can go all day.
So what's the hashtag Fat Jewish? Where's that tie in?
Well, he's the founder of the Babe Rosé and the Grigio. So
didn't know that he
he's
founded
kind
that.
of the what would you say?
The
face
guru.
behind
Okay.
He's the fictional character behind Babe Walker.
Check out our Instagram. You have to
It's
see the photos.
hysterical.
It's quite hilarious.
Okay, I did not realize that. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that connection then.
I had heard of him before, but when Cassie told me about this, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
I messaged them with the cans and the Fat Jewish in the background, and she had to really look, but I
was like,
saw
"Is that
him,
him?"
and I met him, and I watched him play with his weird hair.
He drove through New York City in a pink convertible on Rosé Day.
I'm trying to get him to come to
in,
Kegs and Corks.
like
Didn't I tell you
nothing
that?
but
I want
rosé
him to come.
cans.
Wonderful.
Email
It's
me.
hilarious.
I want him to come
So,
in his pink.
That's where that
might
ties
have
in.
an
That
appearance.
bay.
And the wine is good. You wouldn't even expect it to be so good. But, it's delicious. I sampled some just.
A lot of things with wine has been strange. You wouldn't expect like the screw off caps. I mean, that was Boone's Farm when I was growing up.
Yeah. No, but it's
they
like
have
so
pretty good
perfectly bubbly and sparkling.
And then they went to like
that
the synthetic corks and and it's and wine in a can. I mean,
it's easier than
You would have
just
thought
popping a
wine
can.
in a can.
and wine in a
That's kind
box
of
has made a
like-
comeback.
Yes, they have. I'm
Think
proud to carry
about
my
the boat this summer, guys. You want the cans.
Yeah.
So much easier.
You don't want
No
you don't
glass,
want
no
glass at the
cups.
pool or glass on the boat.
Yeah. Does your pool say no glass? Well,
Hey, can
There
I
you
bring
go.
can I bring my Yeti in that where you put the can? It's like a little
the holder?
Yeah, the whole yeah.
Yes, we love those. We want them to come and sell them.
We're trying. You mean the handles?
The handle.
They come in a slim can, so I'm not sure.
Well, they've got handles that are on them, but they're just wonderful. They make coolers that are just ridiculously expensive. But
that's crazy.
They're
Oh, you mean just the Yeti cup?
it's like a hard koozie.
I don't think I trust you with that, so I'm going to say no.
Fine. Fine.
You need to buy their koozie anyway.
Yes, buy our
Kegs and Corks.
Buy our special
We'll even
cup
give you
that
one.
changes colors.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll give it to
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Save your date. Everybody get your calendar out right now. Get a pen, permanent marker, August 18th from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds. You want to go to kegsandcorksfest.com right now. You want to put in the code EOA and you want to save some money off of the $40 admission. It is unlimited samples. It is of wine, of beer. We have the queen of beer there that is going to be curating a wonderful beer menu. We've got all sorts of Maryland wineries. How many wineries are there, did you say? There's like 15 wineries here in Maryland, which is always interesting because many people don't think of Maryland as a great wine state. But if you get tasting it, you will realize that we are very, very respectable. Respectful? No. Respectable is the word I'm looking for.
Oh, and if I can just throw this in, Jane Mark, their red is one of my favorites. So they have a red blend.
Jane Mark?
Jane Mark.
Never heard of it. Sounds like
they were new last year to the area, and it's one of my favorite reds. So check it out.
Kegs and Corks, August 18th, 2018, Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds. I will be there. Ashley will be there. Sharon will be there. And the Queen of Beer will be there on her throne with her sash and her tiara. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you for having us, John. Always fun.
Goodbye, y'all.
Here's to the teacher who spends her weekend helping children who need a little extra attention. To the soldier who missed the birth of his baby while serving overseas. To the EMT working full-time and taking night classes. To the police officers and firefighters working long hours away from their families to keep our families safe. Here's to you, our hometown heroes. I'm Alan Hyatt, Chairman and President of Severn Bank, and we know there are many heroes among us, men and women who serve without expecting anything in return. Which is why we're honored to offer our Hometown Heroes program to educators, law enforcement officers, firefighters, first responders, healthcare workers, and military personnel. Whether you're opening a checking account or buying a new home, we're here to give back to you. Learn more about our Hometown Heroes program at severnbank.com. Severn Bank, here with you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And there you go, Kegs and Corks. Save the date, August 18th. And now you know how to get free tickets. And if you're getting discounted tickets, first of all, they are unlimited as far as the general admission tickets. So you can get as many as you want with that discount code. It is E as in I, O as in on, and A as in Annapolis. So it's EOA. But it has to be lowercase for it to work. And we may have misspoke as far as what the discount was. We were talking about bringing it down to $32.50 from $40, but they made a mistake and I made them stick to it. So it's down to $30. So you save $10 on every general admission ticket that you want.
You sound like one of those car guys going, we made a mistake. We bought too many cars.
That's right. Get yours now.
He did that like twice a year. I'm like, aren't you going to fire that guy eventually who keeps screwing up every time? Like he does it like twice a year. You're not letting him go?
But it sounds like they got a whole bunch of good stuff going on there. They've got the, fresh music, which I do like. The Maryland wineries, 19 different wineries, 30 different breweries that are represented. Lots of surprises. And it's a fun day. It really is. I
had a blast last year. Like I said, we brought the kids. The vendors there was enough vendors there to keep them entertained. I'm not a big craft beer guy, but for a day I'll do it. My wife likes her wine.
Well, and I do have a bunch of free tickets. So we've got several that we're giving away, as we said there, but we're also going to turn around and, throughout the next month or so, be giving them away on the Maryland Crabs Facebook page, as well as the All Annapolis Facebook page. You might follow the various Twitter handles, and there might be some hidden around town that if you just happen to see them or find them, you can snag them and get free tickets to Kegs and Corks. They did give me a whole stack of them. So that was good. And I've got to figure out whether I want to give you a pair or not.
I did actually take you up on it last year. Well, I know normally you give me tickets, and I'm like,
this is kind of cool because this is now two festivals. East Puerto Rockin', and you had a good time there.
I did.
and Kegs and Corks last year, and you said you had a good time.
I did. I had a blast last time.
See what happens when you get out of your house?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I get to chalk it up as a date night with my wife. So I get like a free ticket somewhere. I go. You
call it an anniversary present.
Everyone gets off my back for a couple weeks about being a hermit, and then I'm just like, yeah, and then I took you out. But
I ran into somebody at the 4th of July naturalization ceremony, and she says, "Oh, where's Tim?" Oh, that's right. This is not at his house. I forgot. This is not in his backyard.
How cool would it be if they had stuff like that at my house? Although, after a while I get tired of guests. I'm like, okay, you can go now. I like being alone.
I don't know. That's true. Hey, so what do we got coming up? We're trying to work on it. But we may have Jody Danek, who is the new operator for the Market House, which at the time this airs, it may or may not be open.
The sign does say late spring, and we're recording this in mid-July.
Midsummer.
Yeah, so I think that they're a little behind the 8 ball. I've heard some rumors that, to give them the benefit of the doubt, I heard there was some permitting or something like that.
Yeah, so
although they're running it.
Well, we're going to try to get in touch with Jody to find out what the scoop is, and it may be open, so it may be a very cool conversation that we have.
I'm kind of excited actually because my kids take piano lessons and they're downtown, so I got like an hour and a half to kill like every Tuesday, and I don't want to go home and I do a little work, so I try and find somewhere to go have a beer and just nothing. I know there's a lot of great bars down there and everything, but McGarvey's is like minus 50. Let me just tell you right now, that's absolutely freezing. I'm like an old woman when I go in there. And the other places can be a little bit touristy, but I would love to sit at the Market House, look over at Ego Alley, and just have a beer.
Yeah, on a little counter or whatnot. No, I agree. I think of all the different designs I've heard on the Market House over the last 30 years, or is what it seems like. If anyone had a chance of doing it, I think this is the one.
Yeah, I think this is the limit. If they can't do this, it can't be done. Just turn it into a parking lot.
It's like it turns into a Frank Sinatra. If you can't make it here, you can't make it anywhere.
This is the last chance. This is the last chance I'm giving the Market House. So it's go time. It's like that scene from The Natural. He's at the plate and he's got the ulcer bleeding through his shirt. This is it.
And we're also working on a cool thing with the mayor, and we haven't settled it down, but maybe if we put it out on a podcast, we'll put some more pressure on him.
Yeah.
But what we want to do is and sort of like Mayor Mike Panelides used to do, his open door sessions where you could come in and talk for 10 minutes and then he kicks you out of his office.
Right.
We're going to sit down with the mayor once a month for an hour in a casual environment. We may roam around different restaurants and places through town, and we will take our questions, whatever he wants to talk about. But the cool thing is we're going to take questions from you, the listeners. Mm-hmm. And we'll just read them verbatim.
And here's my goal too. I want to go outside of downtown. I want to show everybody that there's more to Annapolis than 4 square blocks.
Says the guy who doesn't leave his house.
Yeah, but I don't leave it over on Forest Drive. So I'm over there. So I want to do like Forest Drive and Outer West Street and even West Annapolis, all those places that people forget exist.
It's true. But so that's what we got coming up there. Kegs and Corks, keep it on your calendar, August 18th. Stay tuned for free tickets. And
what's the code again? That's EOA, lowercase.
The code is all lowercase, EOA, I on Annapolis. That'll save you $10 off of the price of as many tickets as you want to buy.
That's a great deal.
So that's what, 20%, 25%?
Yeah, buy 5 tickets and it's paid for itself.
Yeah.
No, you get your 5th ticket free. 4 tickets, get 1 free.
Buy 4, get 1 free.
Exactly.
There you
so
go.
2 couples can go out with their divorced friend.
Yeah, the 5th wheel.
All right, to cheer them up.
Fantastic. There you go. So we will see you next week.
Kegs and Corks.
This has been the Maryland Crabs Podcast with Tim Hamilton and John Fernay. Sure to follow them in all the regular places, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and online at themarylandcrabs.com. Take a moment to rate us on iTunes. Now, get the hell out of my kitchen. Seriously, go!
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.